What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And this week on The Great Debaters, getting into some Cypress Hill. Alright, Amir. So today on The Great Debaters, we're doing our top 3 picks. Cypress Hill's Black Sunday, their second album. But first, of course, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Like our content, share, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate you guys' support and getting us this far. And of course, check out our podcast if you haven't already. Unique Access with Soren Baker, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now, Amir, Cypress Hill came out, blew me away in 1991 with the self-titled debut album. And then they came back 2 years later, 93, with this, Black Sunday, another excellent project. So what were your first introductions to the Black Sunday world?
So this is actually the first Cypress Hill album I heard.
Oh, okay.
And the reason being was, I'd heard about the album, whatever, and I obviously had heard, Insane in the Brain dozens of times up to that point, just on the radio, or it, you hear it really anywhere. It's incorporated in pop culture a lot too. So I bought this because I remember it was like their best-selling album, and back then I also didn't really have a lot of money. I mean, this is back in middle school, so I was pretty much going off of, gift money and stuff like that, or if
I remember those days.
If I had an allowance, I wouldn't spend money on food. I would save it and buy music or whatever else. So this is one of those things that I remember always seeing at my local Best Buy, and I had obviously heard of Cypress Hill, so I just picked it up. And also just seeing this on so many of those Amazon lists back in the day, I was like, yeah, let me check this one out. So I bought it, and I actually remember I wasn't the biggest fan of it when I first heard it. I wasn't the biggest fan of this album. I didn't listen to Cypress for a couple of years after that because of it, and then I went back to Cypress Hill and Temples of Boom and blah, 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 blah. And then I revisited this album, and I was like, oh, I was sleeping it. It's a really good album. So
it's a great album.
That was my introduction. Then to get into one of my picks here, it's also funny because back then my favorite song on the album was Break 'Em Off Some, and now we're about to talk about this. That's not one of my picks. So clearly I've changed since I was maybe 8th grade or whatever listening to this. So my first pick is I Ain't Going Out Like That. That's probably my favorite song on the album. Definitely top 3 for me. And it's crazy because although it sounds like something that Cypress or that DJ Muggs would have produced, it sounds perfectly in mode with the album, but T-Ray produced it, so I was a little shocked on that one. T-Ray did so well on this. I like the harmonica on it. I like Sendog on the chorus, Be Real doing his thing on the verses. I like how it's a little more aggressive. I like the bass in it. I really thought it was interesting how this was also the last song recorded for the album, and that also makes sense that T-Ray produced it if it was the last song for the album. It kind of helps me put some of the dots together, pieces of the puzzle. But man, I just love this song. Like I said, I think the instrumental is just excellent, and I think their approach with that chorus, we ain't going out like that, and then you hear Sendog putting in his little 2 cents too. I just think it's super special, and to have T-Ray come and, in my opinion, have the best production on the album, and we're talking about DJ Muggs here. DJ Muggs, one of the all-time greats, and I think, no disrespect, I think that he got outdone on his own project. T-Ray, man, woo! And that's not to say the other beats are bad, because they're not. There's some excellent stuff in here, but man, this I Ain't Going Out Like That beat is, in my opinion, something super special. That's my first pick.
I Ain't Going Out Like That is also one of my top 3 picks. This is my favorite song on the album. The energy's infectious. The darkness of coming off I Want to Get High, I thought was like an amazing kind of flow, because it was so unexpected, because you come off a laid back song and then it's like, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So I love that. And then Be Real's energy on here is pretty remarkable. And I like that Sendog gets his shine as well, even though he doesn't dominate the song. I think the production is the real dominant factor here. The beat is just so good. So yeah, like Amir, that's one of my picks. Beyond that, it is striking that T-Ray did this beat, because with the debut eponymous album, and now with Black Sunday, Muggs had only not done one song, and it's this one. So that's just, it lets you know the force of the song, because the fact that they would have enabled it and allowed it to be on Black Sunday and Muggs didn't do it, that just lets you know, man, crazy stuff. So,
and it was a single.
That too.
Very interesting.
With a great video on top of that.
Very interesting. So my second pick then is going to be, I feel pretty generic saying this, but I just have so much memory to it. You already know what I'm about to say. Insane in the Brain, man. I'd heard this so much. It's one of the first songs that had put me on a Cypress Hill. And I also remember I always get it mixed up with How I Could Just Kill a Man. I always get it mixed up with Jump Around. I just always do. It just always happens. But, you know, and all those are just such great songs that have stayed so relevant in terms of just hearing them, particularly Jump Around and Insane in the Brain, more so than How I Could Just Kill a Man. But all those songs, I mean, they're going to last forever. They're anthems that will never die. But Insane in the Brain, I mean, super catchy. It's the main reason why I bought this album. You know, it's the main reason why I got put on to Cypress Hill, and I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people. So the chorus is excellent, the energy is great. It's something that you can really hear in stadiums, or
and
just,
I have.
Yeah. He has, I have, I've heard it in movies. It's just such a staple piece to not only Cypress Hill's discography, but also to hip hop, and also bridging some of those gaps, right, from hip hop to other genres too. So that's my second pick.
Yes, that's also my second pick. This is the song that made Cypress Hill was an ascending, super popular group, but then Insane in the Brain made them like pop phenomenons, crossover superstars, just like catapulted them into the upper echelon of rap, but then also into like the big dogs in all of music. And that's one of the reasons why they are the legacy act that they are today. They're still putting out great music. The Back in Black album just came out, for those that haven't checked that. Black Milk did the production on the whole album. So they've got a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of that is a direct result in some ways or another of Insane in the Brain, because that put the stamp on them, like, okay, you guys are a great rap group. Now you've made a certified crossover top 40 smash type of song, and people loved it. So it's an amazing song. I really like Send Dog Said Jackass like a looter in a riot. I just always thought that was hilarious and sad at the same time. But, you know, it just shows the power of what Cypress Hill was doing, and the fact that they were able to take this super hard, super street, super dark, super mysterious kind of Latin lingo, How I Could Just Kill a Man, real estate-esque Pigs type of thing, and then make it into popular music. So it was like the music pop and crossed over to them, they didn't cross over to pop. And that's something that I can always appreciate and applaud when that happens, because Cypress Hill remained super hardcore and rugged and raw as they had been throughout the Cypress Hill album, and then they were able to turn the same trick with Insane in the Brain, and Black Sunday ain't going out like that. So that's my second pick. Amir, what's your third pick for Black Sunday?
Third pick, we're gonna go with Hits from the Bong. And this is an interesting pick in my opinion, because I don't smoke weed. Granted, they have a lot of songs about weed, so you're bound to pick one eventually. So Hits from the Bong, man, I mean, that's another one of those songs that it's so embedded in pop culture, man. I don't remember which movie I remember hearing this in a lot, because I some of the comedies that I watch, I usually binge them with some of my friends, so we have so many inside jokes to them. So I don't remember if it was like Pineapple Express or Harold and Kumar or one of those movies in that type of genre. It's in one of those ones, and I just remember always hearing it in there. And that was cool. But I'd heard this song, I think, before those movies, but it just always reminds me of Cypress Hill. And just the song, I think the beat is just awesome. It's super chill. You have B-Real's very high-pitched voice on it too. You hear Send Dog. But one thing that's also super cool about this song is you have actually someone hitting a bong, and you hear it in the instrumental, and then you hear like I have friends with a lot of people who smoke weed, so I'm just the stuff that they're doing, I hear in this song, so I find that very awesome. But then on top of that too, where Be Real has the lyric where he says, "Watch out for the water in the bong, like it smells like shit when it hits the carpet." So back in the day, I was always the sober guy, right? So they always wanted me to hold the bong or whatever, like whatever the hell. So I'd hold the bong. I remember one time we were driving. My friends were kind of stupid at the time, so they would smoke and drive. So I'd hold the bong. One time there was an abrupt stop, and the bong water fell out, and I remember I had new pants. And when on my new pants, the pants were never the same. They smelled like complete trash. Just like Be Real said, watch out for the bong water. It smells like shit. Literally, I don't even smoke. It got all over my... I was so mad. Because I wasn't making really money back then. I was making minimum wage. I was so mad. Oh my God. It ruined the pants. I was living with my parents, so I didn't want them to smell it in case they knew what it was. So I had to hide. It was a whole ordeal, these damn pants. So, bong water smells like shit. So terrible. But... hey, Be Real wasn't lying. Watch out for that bong water. So, I mean, the song's awesome, man. It's so good. And, yeah, I like it a lot. So that's my third pick. Soren, what's yours?
That's a great song. It's not my third pick. I'm going with the other main weed song, I Want to Get High.
It's a good song, too.
That one, I just remember when I was first hearing Black Sunday, that horn or whatever that is. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like this... it's calling everybody in, like, come, something interesting and important is happening.
That's good.
And I Want to Get High is the song. And that, it's so interesting. And as somebody, I've never gotten high, I've never drank, smoked, done anything. So to be so drawn to this song is so ironic to me and so hilarious because I've never done any of these things. But it does seem like it draws you in so much. And then on top of that, the call of it, like Be Real saying, I want to get high, like all that is just so like, it sounds like he's already high, but he's saying I want to get high. So it's just this whole interesting oral concoction that they've combined here and made into this great song. So I just always like this song. It gives me a smile on my face. And the interesting thing is, for me, and this is unusual with Black Sundays, the first three songs are my favorite songs. That almost never happens. And these first three songs, to me, are very different with I Want to Get High, Ain't Going Out Like That, and Insane in the Brain, because I Want to Get High is so mellow, laid back, but it's also kind of arresting at the same time. Ain't Going Out Like That is very forceful, very driving, very menacing. And then Insane in the Brain is those things, but it also has a little bit more of a party, fun type of thing going on that Ain't Going Out Like That definitely does not have, and I Want to Get High definitely does not have. So these three songs, man, really take so many different angles, and it's the beginning of Black Sunday. And right there, I was like, man, this album is phenomenal. So for me, that's unusual and remarkable, which is why I went into detail on it. So,
well, you know what's funny is I just pulled down the Cypress Hill album right here from my shelf, and I remember that on that video, which we'll link up right now, in that video, we also had the first three songs. Yeah. So that's very interesting that that's also for this album for you.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But Cypress has been doing it on the biggest scale since 1991, especially creatively. And with Black Sunday, they started hitting the charts in super major ways. So, amazing project. And there it is. So, those are my top three picks. You guys got Amir's top three picks. Hit us up in the comments section. Let us know what you guys thought of Black Sunday and your top three picks. And we appreciate your guys' support. And thank you, Cypress Hill, for this amazing album. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Great debaters, y'all.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence thanks to gangster rap.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.